Although it's a quarter of a century since the fight over protecting the Franklin River hit the international stage and the World Heritage Area was declared, it's still only the rare few who experience it firsthand. Only those fit and brave enough to spend 8 days whitewater rafting get to see the river in all its glory, which makes the trip of Paul Pritchard all the more extraordinary, as Felicity Ogilvie reports.
The Franklin is a very famous river. I'm just looking forward to just getting into the scenery, the grandeur and the solitude and just the kind of the peace. There is an element of danger in the Franklin. Obviously, you know, people have died on it and stuff, and I'm well aware of that, and that's what makes me feel alive.
Paul Pritchard has a brain injury. He's never paddled whitewater rapids before, but he and his friends are about to spend 8 days rafting down the Franklin River.
It's called hemiplegia, and it means that I can't use my arm or leg. For the Franklin, really, it's just all about my arm. It means that I can't use 2 arms like you would normally use on a paddle. Like I can only use 1 arm, so that's why I've had this crutch paddle made.
The river level's pretty good.
Their guide, Marcus Morse, is experienced. He used to work for a commercial rafting company and has been down the Franklin more than 50 times. Photographer Matt Newton will film the trip. The most pressing concern, though, is getting Paul Pritchard safely down the river.
Well, I hope that doesn't happen to us.
For Paul, there is a bit of an extra consideration because he paddles with his left arm, but he also needs to be able to hold on with his left arm. So if there's going to be any big jolts to the left-hand side of the boat, he's going to be holding on outside his body. So if he starts to fall to the left, he'll be out of the boat before his arm can grab hold.
Mr. Pritchard knows that his disability will make the journey more dangerous.
I've also got memory problems and word finding problems, concentration problems. I've got post-traumatic epilepsy as well, so I need to have my medication in all these places, so that if one bag gets washed away, I've got another bag or something, you know, as well. Yeah.
The adventurer used to be a professional rock climber. A decade ago, he came to Tasmania and had a climbing accident that almost killed him. He was halfway up the totem pole near Port Arthur when a rock broke off and fell on his head.
And it injured me to such an extent that I spent a year in hospital, and it left me with a stroke. I met my wife because she was a neuro nurse on the neurosurgical unit of the Hobart Hospital, and she was part of my nursing team. Jane's a climber too, and so we're both like-minded people, and up until having kids 5 years ago, we led a pretty adventurous life, especially in Tassie, where we traversed the Eastern Arthurs and we climbed Mount Kenya in Africa.
He's written an award-winning book about his accident and another about his return to climbing.
It was my life, and adventuring was my life, and so that's what. So this river trip is just an extension of that.
This experience should help him get down the river. The churn is too dangerous to run, so the group will need to do what's called a portage. His brain injury affects balance, so climbing over slippery rocks is hard.
It was tricky, but it's something that I'm used to, really, because it's from all my climbing experience, and especially my disabled climbing experience as well, with you know, Kilimanjaro and things. I think I can crowd surf into that boat down there.
It takes hours to portage around the rapids and only a few seconds to run them. Every rapid is dangerous. Submerged trees and rocks can trap rafters. This one's called the Cauldron. A month after these adventurers completed the journey, an Indian Army officer fell in and drowned.
Everybody ready? You can let go! Hang on! All right!
He's survived the Cauldron, but Paul Pritchard's disability is about to put him in a deadly situation. His leg has seized up and he's trapped inside the raft.
If the raft had a flipped, then I probably, there's a good chance that I would have come a cropper.
Around the bend, the river calms down. Paul Pritchard has made it down the Franklin River.
The highlights were just more like the still water in between the rapids. Definitely put it down to the team that I had around me, if you will. They were all looking out for me, really. For me, it was actually kind of the ideal way to see some really special wilderness, because I'm not very good at walking, and you just sat on your bum basically.